Wow, it's been a minute, huh? Figure I might as well blow the dust off the old editing software and start making videos again. Since it's been so long, I figure we're due for a reintroduction. Hi everyone, I'm SpecterSaru. You may know me from the grassroots Splatoon LANs with my team 2 Moons. We saw our best success at LANs and placed decently online as well. In Splatoon 1, I was one of our mini snipers as well as a dynamo. In Splatoon 2, I flexed between chargers and splatlings a bit more due to the copious issues for the second game. I was an undergrad during most of that and would make videos in my spare time. It was definitely a hobby I enjoyed and hopefully something I can get back into. Right now, I'm going for a second degree to eventually go for my master's, so as much as I would like to go ham on the game once again, I cannot. Plus, I'm still invested in critically acclaimed MMORPG Final Fantasy XIV, now available with an expanded free trial, which you can play through the entirety of A Realm Reborn and the award-winning expansion Heavensward up to level 60 for free with no restrictions on playtime. Sorry I had to shill, but it's become quite the popular retirement home for former Squid kids like myself. Either way, when news of Splatoon 3 finally being on the way released, I was stoked to hear about it, especially after so long. It didn't feel like it had been 5 years since Splatoon 2 came out, and 3 years since I went on my extended hiatus. As 2022 went by, we got more and more news until suddenly the day was upon us. With all the turmoil going on in my real life, it was something to look forward to. With the test fire announced and the release day on the horizon, I had curbed my expectations. While I will always love the series, I didn't want to get my hopes too high. I would get some friends, play a kind of competitive casual, maybe enter a tourney or two on a weekend I had the spare time. So, yeah, that may not be happening. Now that we're finally getting to the meat of the video, your initial question was probably, "Hey Spectre, as a Splat veteran, what are your thoughts on Splatoon 3? It feels f***ing awesome. In the test fire, it was clear that they had finally learned from a few of their major mistakes that they made with Splat 2. Splatoon 2 unfortunately suffered from migrating to a new console, a new format, as they had to reimagine the game in a way without the gamepad. From its release up until its death, Splatoon 2 never heard the end of how the controls didn't feel as good as the gamepad did. Now, I'm no tech person, but my theory had always been that due to the gamepad's signal strength, at Squidstorm 2016 we quickly learned that too many gamepads trying to go at once would cause signal interference. Every Splat 1 LAN from then on had matches in separate rooms to prevent this interference, or only a few matches could be running at the time. I won't get into all the fancy schmancy tick rate and all that, but man, I've not hit shots this consistently in years. The game feels great. Aiming finally doesn't feel like gluten-free booty butt cheek anymore. I'm in love. Now, that isn't to say that the game is all sunshine and rainbows. While there have been many quality of life improvements, there are still some issues that hopefully Nintendo will address. Right now, teaming up and playing with friends and how you utilize the menu to do so is subpar. In Splatoon 2, if you finished a solo match, you could pause, change gear, and re-queue without having to back out of the lobby entirely. If you were doing League, you always went back to the weapon select screen after each match. For reasons beyond my understanding, they've taken this away in Anarchy Open. Perhaps it'll be saved for League or in a later update, but for now it feels pretty awful. If you're playing with a full quads of friends in Opens, you have to let your whole team know that you want to leave to scrub or just change your weapon. If you're twinning and you want to not stick with your previous teammates, you and your friend both have to leave and go through the menu and make a room again. It's tedious. And considering in Turf War you can remain in the room, have 30 seconds to change your gear and go, one has to wonder the reasoning behind it. There's no way it has anything to do with the improved matchmaking, right? Who knows? Certainly not me. Next, I'd like to go in depth with it in a future video, but the map design is missing more than it's hitting right now. Splat 3 has seen the return of 3 Splatoon 1 maps: Hammerhead Bridge, Mahi Mahi Resort, and Museum de Alfonsino. Of these 3, only one has retained its soul. Mahi has sunken shies, and even when the water drains, it's still pretty cramped. It's far more close quarters than its predecessor. Hammerhead has lost the iconic middle grade, essentially just becoming a reskinned walleye warehouse. Museum is the only map that has retained its glory, the only major change being done that the water gap behind the spinner is now permanently closed. The Splatoon 3 maps for the most part focus more on the length rather than the width, and follow design choice of really only having one way in. There are also significantly less charger spots, less flanking routes, and the design seems to favor having a big clash in the middle and needing to push through. Instead of continuing on that, I'll use that to lead to my next point, which is Nintendo's continued habit of constantly nerfing things that they perceive to be too strong into the ground. We saw it in Splat 1 to Splat 2 with weapons like the Minis, the E-Liter, the 52 Gal. Minis have yet to get a good special like the Zimmy combo of Disruptor and Bubbler from Splat 1. The 52 Gal got hit with the nerf to splash walls as well as the RNG with their gunfire. And E-Liter, my precious baby, will never have burst bombs again. From Splat 2 to Splat 3, Hammer is absolutely ridiculous and so far seems pretty useless. Newer maps are still devoid of spots that empower snipers in the way older maps did, almost to the point of seeming like it's meant to discourage it. Sprinklers still don't paint like they used to. There are other things that I'm probably forgetting about and simply can't be bothered to find right now, as I'm happy that E-Liter feels halfway decent again. Either way, the game ain't all that bad. I've definitely been itching to play it more than I have in the past 3 years. But still, I won't go too ham on it. Like I said, I've got a lot going on. As for what you can expect from this channel, as usual you can look forward to the occasional video. Maybe I'll start up Inside the Spectacle again. I definitely have been brainstorming some ideas of videos I've wanted to do, and hopefully I'll be able to execute. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't already so you'll be the first, or at least the second, to know when they do happen. Either way, thanks for stopping by, gamers. I'll see you around.